This is going to be a short tutorial on how to create a letter applique in Inkstitch. Just using system fonts. I'm going to start by using my lettering tool. I have a Rockwell Condensed is my system font that I'm using, and I'm just going to create a letter A, capital A. I'm going to use my selection tool, and I'm going to increase the size of this to 90 millimeters. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate that just to save it. I'm going to hide opacity of that one. Actually, let's do the bottom one. Then I'm going to go path, object to path. Next, I'm going to turn off my fill color by hitting the X on the color palette. And I'm going to give it a stroke color by holding the shift key and hitting a color, which is red right now. This first stroke, as it is, if we go to extensions, Inkstitch params, it's just going to sew as a running stitch. It'll do the outside and the inside of the A. So no need to apply because it's already done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that. And I'm going to turn that color, stroke color, to just some kind of yellow. Let's do a red. That's chocolate. Orange. Let's do some kind of orange. Okay. The reason for changing the color in between the two strokes is so that if you're using a flatbed machine or any single needle machine, your machine will stop in between your colors. If you're using a multi-needle machine, you'll have to go into, let's select that first one. Actually, let's select both of them and go to Extensions, Inkstitch, Commands, and we will attach commands to selected objects, and we will stop or pause machine after sewing this object and hit Apply. And you will see the commands attached to those. So we can close that dialog box. So we're going to take that last one. We're going to duplicate it again. So first of all, let's go back. We're going to name this placement. That's your placement stitch. This is going to be your tack down stitch. We're going to duplicate the tack down. And this is going to be your satin. Just name it satin. And to create that satin, let's give it a black stroke color. We're going to go to our fill and stroke menu, and let's make that 4 millimeters wide. We'll turn the opacity down so you can see your other strokes behind it, your two running strokes. So your satin stroke will cover your placement and your tack down. So with your satin stroke selected, 4 millimeters wide or however wide you want to make it, I recommend not going any less than 3 millimeters because then it gets hard to cover your edge. So we're going to go with it selected, Extensions, Inkstitch, Tools, Satin, and Stroke to Satin. And it will convert that into a satin column. Now what it did is it broke it up into two parts. So I'm going to select both the outer and the inner part. Go to Extensions, Inkstitch, Params. And there is no undersewing right now. But what I like to do is I like to go to Zigzag Underlay and turn that on. I'll probably increase the spacing to, let's say, 4 millimeters. And I'm going to have a maximum stitch length of 3 millimeters. So it'll shorten that. Well, did it? Let me slow this down. Yep. So it just broke that zigzag stroke down some. And then you can go back to your satin columns. I like to add a little density to my satin stroke. So I do, you can do 0.33 or whatever you feel will work best for you. It'll cover that edge a little better. We'll hit Apply and Quit. And basically you are done with your satin, with your applique, I'm sorry. Let's go to extensions, Inkstitch, visualize, and simulator, and run the simulation on it. I'm going to slow that down. Let's see, restart it. So that is your placement stitch, which will sew first. Your machine will stop. Then you place your fabric and sew your tack down stitch. After your tack down stitch is finished, your machine will stop. You will cut out your applique, and then you will come back on top with your satin. Speed it up to finish that satin. And that is the easiest way to create a letter applique in Inkstitch. So thanks everybody for watching.